Okay, so it seems like the YouTube censorship situation is getting even worse with the rules coming into effect on August 13th for a lot of United States citizens, which obviously is absolutely terrible. And there's been a lot of people talking out against this kind of stuff, including Chibi Reviews. But obviously, this actually goes even deeper with it affecting directly a lot of VTubers. Now, there's been some new kind of rules that have been set in place by YouTube, which makes this situation even worse. Because obviously, I've already talked and made multiple videos about the fact of how this ID stuff and how having to verify your ID and YouTube guessing your age is a really big problem in the space, especially for a lot of VTubers who obviously frequently use the platform, including obviously hololive, who almost exclusively use it as a live streaming platform, and also a lot of indie VTubers and other VTubers as well, using the platform to upload videos, upload clips, and a whole lot more. And obviously it's become a really big space for VTubers to interact, to share their clips and whatever. Now, obviously, what's kind of happened here is that it could affect a lot of VTubers due to the fact of it being associated with kids kind of things. I actually went into a channel yesterday, run into it's kind of associated with a lot of stuff with like Ryan's toy reviews and stuff like that, who is obviously a kids-based channel, and they named their channel VTubers due to the fact of it having some virtual avatars, I guess. But essentially, yeah, they had that up, and obviously that channel is now going to be associated with the VTuber category as a whole, despite it being very different from what VTubers actually are, which obviously could flag or falsely flag a lot of accounts watching VTubers, and it could also have many other effects. We don't really know, because obviously we don't know how kind of harsh this AI is going to go, because that's how YouTube are detecting this. They're not detecting this through, manual review or anything like this. They're detecting it through AI systems, which obviously have a tendency to mess up. We've talked about Twitch before and how, their AI deleting a lot of, view botters and things like that has struggled to actually determine what's a real viewer and what's a bot. Again, there's been a lot of real viewers actually being removed, so we're not really at a point here where a lot of these kind of systems, a lot of these kind of interfaces are 100% accurate, which obviously causes a big problem for a lot of people that just want to use the site, because obviously no one wants a site where people are being taken down for absolutely no reason. Now, they've also implemented a new rule, which I wanted to get into, which is this one here. Obviously, this is from Raya, who is a pretty big VTuber, 23k over, or 20k, sorry, over on Twitter, and they essentially say, watching YouTube Shorts, and this is getting ridiculous. And it seems like they've now been blocked from watching a video. They've been blocked from watching a video on YouTube for using a VPN/proxy. Now, obviously, what a lot of people have been doing during this whole censorship stuff is using a VPN, because obviously there's other areas, including America, which obviously have less stricter kind of censorship stuff, and people can then go and watch the content that they want without it being restricted, because obviously over here there's a lot of stuff that is restricted, and in other kind of areas as well. But it seems like this is also a thing that is happening on YouTube too, where essentially, yeah, people are using VPNs, including Raya here, and getting told they cannot watch a video because they've detected a VPN. And that's what they're trying to do as well going forwards with actual laws, is to try and, kind of restrict people from using VPNs too. Obviously, VPNs have always been a way to kind of avoid detection and avoid, kind of region locking kind of things. And, well, this is something that, a lot of governments want to get rid of, and a lot of social media sites want to get rid of too. And this is probably the only last way that a lot of people can really view a lot of this content that is getting censored for them. And I think it's becoming a really big problem, because, obviously a lot of people were like, oh, damn, whenever the censorship stuff came out, they're like, damn, okay, that sucks. I guess I have to use my VPN then. And obviously, some people were kind of okay with it. It's annoying that the censorship had to happen in the first place, but they're like, okay, fine, I guess I can use my VPN to still look at it. But once you get rid of that, well, there's nothing really to fall back on there. And I think a lot of people are going to start getting very annoyed and very frustrated with these changes coming forwards. People saying, locate the best content. Lol said, yes, I love being fed content that they deem worthy for my precious eyes. Obviously, yeah, they try to kind of tell you it's because they want to locate the best content for you, which obviously is not true at all. They just want to, kind of gather your information, your location, and everything like that. I mean, we've always known that Google likes to do that. But again, I think that, blocking someone from using a VPN for that reason is pretty ridiculous. Obviously, as well as saying use residential VPNs, they can't detect that. I said I'll look into one. It said it's an insane. This is actually the reality we live in right now, and not just a dream. They're slowly getting worse and worse. I don't even want to know what will happen before the end of the year if they're moving this fast. They said this is specific to the UK or global. They said I'm in the US, so I'm assuming we'll start to see this elsewhere, not just the UK. So that's also a really big kind of telling point here. Is, you know, this isn't even like a UK person. This isn't someone from Britain. This is actually someone in the US trying to use a VPN and being restricted from using it. So again, this is something that isn't just like a UK only problem or an EU only problem. This is an everyone problem. And obviously, as you saw earlier, Chibi's been talking very heavily about a lot of the stuff that is going on with the US government trying to bring in some more censorship laws as well. So again, the US government are also thinking about doing similar things, which again I think is kind of ironic for obviously a free speech kind of country, which is kind of interesting. Obviously, a lot of people as well saying I don't have any problems with Proton or NordVPN. That's so weird. I'm using Nord. So again, maybe it's just like a one issue thing. I mean, I haven't had any issues with VPNs, but I don't really use them that much. So again, I don't really think it's that much of a big deal. I usually use them for like finding a different anime in a different area. Like that's literally the only thing that I use it for. It said I miss kinda the old internet. It said me too. It said Garfield /SRS or /J, and they're like /SRS. Obviously, they're very serious about this. They said you're using a free VPN, aren't you? It said nope. I've been using Nord for a while. Had a year subscription from a creator that I watched, which obviously is also very interesting because there are many VPNs out there which aren't very effective. Obviously, the free ones aren't going to be as effective as the kind of paid ones, and you see it quite often where, like, for example, Netflix will block maybe like a free VPN because obviously it's very obvious and they can tell and they will block it. But then also if you use something like Express or Nord or one of the kind of big popular paid ones, usually they'll have a system to bypass Netflix and you'll still be able to get past their blocking system. But the fact that they are using Nord and still getting blocked is obviously a big cause for concern too, because it seems like they've actually managed to figure out what is going on with Nord and how they get around this kind of stuff. Now, they also say, locate the best content. Sure, UK, recommending propaganda and pro-censorship to protect kids. But obviously, I think a lot of people are taking this way out of context. They said not even in the UK. So again, it's just YouTube pushing this kind of stuff. It's a bit sad in it, and I said it is, and I'm not even British. I think so many people are saying that they're British when they're not. I mean, I think maybe they should have made that clear, saying like I'm from the US and I'm getting this. But again, a lot of people thought they're British. They're not British. They're from the US, and they're actually getting this kind of censorship and this kind of blocking, which obviously is going to cause a big issue for a lot of people that are wanting to get around these systems in the future. And obviously, it will cause a big issue for YouTube in the future as well, because if they do start to censor content, and then people start using VPNs just to not give in their ID, to not give in their credit card, then obviously they'll start to be blocked on what kind of content they can watch as well, which I think, yeah, it's pretty ridiculous, and it's pretty insane that it's gotten to this point where a lot of these companies can just kind of do this stuff. But yeah, obviously, there's been a lot of people over on r/virtual YouTubers. I mean, this kind of ad page has blown up since we looked at it the other day, talking about the Kids Online Safety Act, which is coming to America and could have a similar effect that the UK one had. They said having your ID stored in easily hackable databases on the internet is not going to protect anyone, which is 100% true. And obviously that is a big reason why people are also very opposed to the ID thing. It's more so the fact that they don't want their ID to get exposed, and that's why VTubers in particular hate this new kind of censorship thing, because it can affect their identity getting exposed. It can affect how their kind of information is handled, and that's very scary, as obviously VTubers are very hands-on with their anonymity and how much they want to protect how anonymous they stay on the internet. And I think that giving your little ID card to some random company that could easily get targeted and hacked and exposed and leaked alongside maybe your YouTube name, because let's be real, they probably have some kind of tie to your YouTube name and your kind of ID, because obviously you signed up, and you'd have to verify it obviously on your account. You verify it with your ID, so it's going to link those two together. So there's probably going to be some kind of data there which obviously tells them which ID is linked to which account, which obviously is going to be an even bigger issue for a lot of VTubers and just people in general, because obviously identification includes stuff like addresses and things like that, which, you know, maybe the hacker themselves won't do anything bad with it, but, well, apart from maybe expose it. But it's more so, I'm more so worried about a lot of the crazy VTuber fans out there who obviously will go ahead and, you know, take it to the next level with the information that they got from that. But yeah, essentially that is a whole update on the situation. I thought it was pretty crazy that YouTube are implementing this new rule. But yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this, because again, I'm very interested in what you guys have to say. Again, it's very, very interesting update to YouTube. And yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also go to GameSubs, use my code Kazza, get 10% off again. You get a ton of really cool stuff over there. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.